let's talk a little bit about machine learning at Google and how machine learning has improved our products. So the first one is your search app, of course, it's got a lot of machine learning in it, and this includes using a voice-driven app like the Google Assistant, or if the Assistant is running on a Google Home device or a Nest device, same thing like that. So it's not just your text, and it's not just words anymore. We're trying to figure out, what are you really trying to ask? And because a robot can't understand you, it doesn't speak the English language, it has to parse what you say and sort of figure out what it is that you want. And so, based on having enough questions asked of it, it would have a better idea, as to what your actual query is. Another product that we've endowed with machine learning is Google Translate. So I don't know if you've noticed, but over the last few years, Google Translate has gotten significantly better. And that is, instead of like normal linguistic rules and things like that we used to use in the past, now we're using machine learning and analyzing how people communicate in that language. And by knowing that, we're able to return results that are much closer to how humans speak. So Translate is another product, and then another product is Google Photos. So I don't know if a lot of people notice this, but if you actually go to your Photos app, there's actually a search bar at the top. And you never went and tagged all of your photos. You didn't say, these are the photos with my family, these are the photos with my pets. You didn't say anything like that. You just said, I want to search for dogs. And so the Google Photos service must have seen many pictures of dogs in order to be able to surface the pictures of dogs that are just on your phone or in your account, right? So all of these products have machine learning built into them. And if you were to look at, this chart is a little bit outdated, but you could see the sort of like the exponential growth in our internal use of machine learning to help improve our products for our users. Yeah, so anyway, so that's a little bit of a picture of machine learning at Google. What about machine learning outside of Google? What has ML enabled that was really, really difficult to do in the past? So one thing is phishing. So, and not the kind that comes in email. So this is actual phishing. So the premise is that, more than 1 billion people on the planet rely on having seafood as their meal. And unfortunately, 85% of all the phishing is happening in places where phishing is either not allowed, or it's regulated, or it's returning back to its natural state after overfishing. So that's not good. And even worse is that 20% of all the seafood that is caught is illegally caught, or it's unregulated, undocumented, and things like that. So that's not good either. And so there's it used to require like people, watchdogs, like checking satellite images and looking for this type of activity. However, the Global Fishing Watch Group has created a global map that is collecting a lot of data, and they're using machine learning to try and figure out, what are the kind of ships that are out there. Obviously there's certain ships that are for cargo only. There's, obviously, ships that are for fishing only. So you're kind of like looking for clues, basically. And then what kind of gear do these boats carry? And what is the pattern of the movement of these boats? And so using all this, you can kind of like figure out, who's really fishing and how much are they fishing and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty useful. So there's a link there so you can click on it and kind of like find out what the hotspots are and things like that. So that's one example. Another one is this company where, they basically slice potatoes. However, there's obviously going to be imperfections in the vegetable that comes up. And so it'd be great to be able to find a way to detect all the ones that are bad. And so I don't know if this video will pull up, but we just try it here really fast. If not, it's just basically a conveyor belt. Okay, here we go. So basically what it does is it scans all the vegetable cut up, the cut up pieces, and it will actually register where something's good or something's bad. So anyway, so that's that. So that's using machine learning. How about if you just want to sort of like introduce yourself to machine learning in a kind of a light-hearted, fun kind of a way. So we have some fun tools that you can try out. This one will probably be fun if you do this with your kids. So it's the Quick Draw program. So if you go down to the link at the bottom, it'll bring you to this website where for every game you play, this application will challenge you to draw an item, and then you have to draw it well enough so that our machine learning APIs can actually, assert that that is the actual item that you were supposed to draw. And so you draw 3 items, and then your game is over. It tells you how well you did, and then you can go and play again. So anyway, so this is pretty fun. So you can send your kids to that. And if you want to read more about this particular experiment, there's a link for you to learn more up here. I'm not going to do it, but you have time to do this afterwards. So what else can we do? Another experiment is this demo that we did at Google Cloud Next in 2016, where you can explore the world of images. So this is basically a galaxy of all kinds of images, and you can zoom into it. So the whole thing is 3D. It's pretty awesome. And as you get closer and closer, so anyway, so you launch it, and then you see this galaxy of all these different categories. And as you zoom in, it will actually, it'll actually point out other categories. So you keep on zooming in, you can go to specific areas. You can use your mouse and rotate and move in 3 dimensions. And as you get closer and closer to something like flower, as soon as you get to a planet, you'll actually be visiting a specific image of a flower, and then you'll see you'll learn. This will be the Cloud Vision API. You'll learn what our API sees in this image, and then sort of like some scores, like confidence scores, to indicate, what is the likelihood that this object is in the photo. So this is another fun app, so you can try it at the link down below, and then you can read more about this demo at the blog post, as well as get to the open source repo at the GitHub link there.